Federal government plans to revive coal mining industry in Enugu State. And Western Marine Command of Nigeria Customs seized illegal products in Lagos. We're starting off from Benue State, where the State House of Assembly has called on the federal government to arrest and charge the Secretary General of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association for treason after he reportedly incited herdsmen to violence following the passage of the Open Grazing Prohibition Bill. Now, under a motion of urgent national security importance, the majority leader of the House, Benjamin Adoyin, says the association published a statement in the nation's newspapers claiming the right of original inhabitants of the Benue Valley and resistance to any legislation regulating open rearing of animals.
The passage of the Open Grazing Prohibition Bill 2017 by the Benue State House of Assembly on May the 4th appears to have seen some level of opposition, including the killing of 12 persons in Loga Local Council on May the 7th. The recent opposition is an alleged treasonable threat by the leadership of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association on page 41 of the nation's newspaper of May the 31st, inciting its members to rise up against the law. The call further renewed fears amongst Benue indigents, including the lawmakers who call for steep penalties.
For now, this is not the time for anybody to rise up in any way and incite by saying we are going to mobilize against people. It is highly inciting, and I think it's a treasonable felony.
At an emergency plenary session, the majority leader spelled out the consequences of Miyetti Allah's inciting statement.
The comments that have been credited to Miyetti Allah, the umbrella association that regulates the activities of the Fulani herdsmen, is treasonable, it is condemnable, it has the capacity and the potentials of creating crisis and breaching the peace of the people of this state.
After various contributions from members, the Speaker reads out the resolution.
The Assembly also calls on the Inspector General of Police to immediately effect the arrest of Engineer Saleh Hassan and Abdullahi Bello for treasonable utterances capable of causing crashes in the state.
The Benue State Commissioner for Information is asking the federal government to arrest and prosecute the leadership of the group.
According to the reports, the association vowed to mobilize herdsmen in the country to resist the law, as it was a deliberate attempt to enslave their members. The Benue State government condemns the statements of these leaders of the association and their stand, which amounts to an open declaration of war on the Benue State citizens.
As both parties pitch against each other, it will be instructive for the security agencies to be on the alert in order to check any breach of peace.
Security operatives in Kaduna State say they are working hard to contain the activities of cattle rustlers and bandits terrorizing the northwest zone of the country. At least 20 cattle rustlers have been killed and several others arrested in a joint operation carried out in Benue and Kachia local government areas of the state.
These government officials are here in Benue local government area of Kaduna State to assess the state of security in the area and also rub minds with the locals on how best to fight cattle rustlers and other bandits terrorizing the zone. Only recently, more than 2,000 stolen cattle and rams were recovered and returned to their owners, and that's because Kaduna and Katsina State government have stepped up measures to flush out the bandits.
Katsina State was the first state to sit and reach an agreement with those repentants. So whatever they are doing it with our advice and our consent.
This is an operation being conducted by our gallant officers and men in the bush. It will interest our listener to know that most of these animals were even wrestled from Kano State.
The strategy seems to be yielding the needed result, but residents still live in fear, and this has also affected business activities. A representative of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association believes the only way to deal with the problem is for the Nigerian government to fully implement the ECOWAS protocol of movement of persons and goods.
The protocol provided some certain measures to be taken by governments of the West African sub-region. In Nigeria, all those steps have not been taken, and therefore you can come in and out of Nigeria at any time at your will without any monitoring.
The battle against the rustlers is further boosted by the Nigerian Navy, which also recovered about 500 cattle from the bandits in various parts of Kachia local government area.
An operation was launched by the Kaduna State government within the context of Operation Yaki to clear the various forests.
While relative success may have been achieved in the fight against cattle rustling in the northwest, experts say policies such as reactivation of grazing reserves and ranches will perhaps bring the menace to the barest minimum.
From the northwest, let's move to the southeast. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has handed over documents of ownership of 182,000 square meters of land to the Nigerian police. The land will be used to establish a mobile police force barracks in Aguleri, Anambra East local government area. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, commended the commitment of the state government to fight crime.
The Inspector General of Police inspects the Guard of Honor in Anambra State before moving to the Governor's Lodge to meet with State Governor Willie Obiano. He is here to witness the flag-off of Police Force Space in Aguleri, where number 54 Squadron Mobile Police Force Barracks will be built. The Inspector General of Police commends Governor Obiano for taking security as one of his priorities.
You are one of the governors that brought a lot of innovations into security. The way you partner with the local communities. And that's why you don't hear about herdsmen, farmers clash in the Anambra State. In a few months' time, I pray to be here to commission the building for the 54 mobile police columns.
The state governor once again reaffirms his commitment to improving security and hands over the documents of land entitlement to the police boss.
Nice for you to know that the land we are giving the IG today is over 182,000 square meters. The Aguleri community are presenting this land free of charge to the Nigerian police as their contribution to improving of security in Anambra State.
He also hands over 50 motorbikes with communication gadgets for easy information dissemination, as well as protective kits for the policemen that will use the motorbikes.
I believe that you are one of those governors that will help to subdue criminality in Nigeria.
The foundation stone of number 54 Squadron Police Mobile Force Barracks is laid, with high hopes that in no distant time the project will be completed to strengthen the existing security in the state.